Are we live?
Yes.
All right. We had talked about doing a solid state relay setup to help us with our low voltage potential low voltage situation with our okay, I'm gonna start over.
Welcome back to Jessie's Performance. We are back with a follow-up update from the NASROD testing last week. As you remember, or don't remember, if you don't remember, click somewhere up there and there's a link to the video. We did some all-wheel drive testing. All of the all-wheel drive stuff was working, but we were having some sort of a fuel cut. So we are gonna diagnose that and get that figured out so that we can get back to doing some testing. So we're ready for LS Fest in Bowling Green in like 3 weeks. So are you ready? Here we go. What are you doing?
I'm going to inspect our fuel filter off the NASROD to see if we have maybe a plug, you know, a plugged filter or something, because we're losing fuel under acceleration, under demand. So that typically happens if you got a plugged fuel filter. It's usually the easiest place to start. Let me grab something down.
That thing looks clean as a whistle.
Yeah. Yep. So obviously in anything other than gasoline, and well, we always do it on gasoline too, but stainless steel versus paper, because it can handle the harshness of the fuel. Is where if this was like, you know, race gas, methanol, E85, it'll just eat the paper stuff up. So looks like our filter's good. You know, big number 10 filter. We have plenty of flow, so that shouldn't be an issue. Which is unfortunate, because that means we got to dig deeper. Plenty of flow there. So we might have to look at a fuel pump. Maybe we got enough to get it going, but not enough to keep it running. Our best bet would be to take it over and put it on the all-wheel drive dyno.
And drive it on the dyno.
And drive it on the dyno, because that would let us know if it's acceleration based, like we have fuel sloshing issue, or if we have a fuel delivery issue. So I might talk to Sean and see if we can't do that.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And then we can see what it does on the dyno.
Yeah.
Or doesn't do, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to pull the fuel pump out and make sure that the line that's inside of it didn't come on one of the pumps, didn't come disconnected and cause us a fuel supply shortage. I have had it happen before on when they send the kits, they send a little plastic line that's all like you're supposed to use, and I've had those split under the higher pressure that these fuel systems demand. So these ones here come drop-in ready, so I didn't touch any of that, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna check that. That's usually a pretty good sign when the fuel stays in the fitting like that, because these pumps have check valves. Check valve's good, it won't let the fuel bleed back off. I think issues like this is the hardest part for a customer to understand. It's because just because you buy all the best parts you can buy doesn't mean things aren't going to fail and you're not going to have issues. Let me turn that off. I mean, if you think about the things that break and fail the most, it's always going to be race cars, and you know, all those high-end race cars always have the best of the best parts. It just, you push them hard and things break, you know. So, what does it look like? all appears to be good, right, and happy.
The other? Anything loose?
No, I'm on full. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get this ring out of here first.
Let that thing go. Let me stick a hanger out of it then.
Thanks for not flinging fuel all over me.
So, I mean, we got a little bit of dirt and stuff in there, but I don't think it's enough to hurt us.
Not like it is.
No. But what we might be having is the fuel might actually be sloshing, because I thought for some reason that we put the Hydra Mats in this. And we do not have Hydra Mats in this.
That would make sense.
It's just the fuel's going to slosh and one of these pumps is going to pick up air and we're just going to run out of fuel.
Yeah.
The only way to test that would be to put more fuel in it.
Yeah.
Or just change to a Hydra Mat and see if that helps it. It's
Because
really...
we never had this problem until
I don't
Texas. I mean, we didn't have the problem in Vegas, and we didn't change anything.
know. No, but we didn't run it any lower on fuel then either.
True.
I don't know that. It's powder coated. Just drink the water. Or is that toilet water? Yeah, I don't think so.
Toilet water.
Yeah, so I don't know. You know, we could back pressure test these here. We can put air to this number 10 and see if our lines are got a split in them. But I don't see anything like a blow off or a big old. Usually they split right here at the tip, and I don't see that. So it's funny to look at these weather pack connectors, huh? That are all like super swole from the fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what fuel does. There ain't nothing. There ain't no rubber that I know of that can keep that from happening. Spam risk. Jerks.
Your answer.
Nah, I'm good.
They're always trying to get a hold of you.
I know. So I'm gonna get with some people at Holley. See if they can't get us some Hydra Mats for these pumps. You know, we got the two, I don't know, what are they? Big, at least 450s in this thing. So we have plenty of fuel. We've made the hits before. We haven't done anything to the tune-up to make it change. So we shouldn't have a fueling problem. We'll blow the lines out, you know, make sure we're good there. And just have to keep trial and error a little bit here. We're back at it with the NASROD. Trying to figure out what our fueling problem is. Easiest solution that we needed to start with having anyways is these Hydra Mats that Holley makes. Basically, it's a super oversized pickup mat, and they got some science behind it to where it fills up in here first, and then almost like a reservoir, and then it pulls from here, so it has to drain this whole thing before it'll starve the pump. And usually by then your event's over, right? Your slosh event's over. So I got two of these bad boys. These are really nice. Sorry, America's getting in the way of your recording there. They got, you know, they got it 6 different ways so you can clock it and stuff like that. So I'll be able to point these to the back in our fuel cell setup here. If you look at comparison here, how fast it's going to run out of fuel in this versus this, I mean, we're talking dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And also what this does is this allows us to put a pickup all the way at the back of the cell, because this, let me see if I can show you here. This is going to start here in the middle, so it's going to go all the way back to the cell. So even if it does slosh and there's some fuel back there, we're not going to be running dry up here like we would on this one here, because we're going to be able to pick up. Because it's a whole complete suction. So I got 2 of these bad boys. They are not cheap. I don't know, a couple $100 a piece I think is what they retail for. Obviously, you know, Holley's always coming through, help us out. But yeah, we're going to start here. We're going to start with a few other things. Deductive reasoning is going to be our best friend in this scenario. Obviously, when we were in Vegas, we didn't have this problem. Since then, we have done a few things, such as rewiring the car, changed a few fuel things. Nothing real major. Made it all-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive, which I think we're getting more G-forces, which is going to create more sloshing, right? We checked the fuel filters, we checked the lines, we checked the injectors, all that's good. So I think what we're going to do after these is we're going to use the MSD solid-state relay setup for our fans, because we're having a fan problem, and for our pumps, thinking that maybe we're losing some current, or we're losing some voltage due to current draw. So we'll get these in, we'll get this back together, and we're gonna do some wiring. I got the Hydra Mats put in the NASROD. Pretty simple install. They just click on the pumps and go in. That's gonna save us from sloshing. It's gonna help us from starving fuel during any kind of sloshing or high G stuff. Okay, so then now what I'm gonna do is I have the MSD solid state relay set up. I'll take it out of the box here in a second. What this is a really badass relay setup. It's got 4 relays built in one, high amp stuff. I'm thinking that we might have a potential voltage drop at our fuel pumps and our fans, causing things to slow down, not getting the appropriate flow and volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the current power wires as trigger wires for this MSD unit. I mean, this thing is, you know, 35 amps 4 times, real easy. You know, you can actually, if you need, you know, more than 35 amps, you can tie 2 channels together. You can tie all 4 channels together. It uses a big 4-gauge input, grounds, powers. You can trigger them with power or ground. It's really nice. So compact. It's got lights on it to, for each channel to let you know they're like diag lights. Really nice lightweight piece. It's plastic, it's molded plastic or whatever. It comes with mounting bolts, mounting tabs, and some hardware. So I think I'm going to find a place to put this here. I'm going to wire it up, and we're going to go testing. Well, the fuel pumps work and the fans work, so now we just need to test. I'm going to do a firmware update on my dash, because that's another thing that we've been seeing an issue with. It just says firmware required. I just got to plug a cable in and use the jump drive and update the firmware. So I'm going to try that, and we'll go from there.
What's wrong?
These are the axle bolts are loose. I'm going to take a look real quick. I don't see what he's seeing.
he's seeing things.
It's all right. I'll let him get back out here. It's starting to sprinkle.
Hopefully Lex is okay in there.
Yeah, I should be all right. Kyle! Hey! Those ain't loose. Okay. Which one's loose?
That's not, this one here's my hand, look. This one's...
Oh, there are two loose.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are, I think, 1/2 inch. 12-point socket, Kyle.
Yep.
Well, he saw that and I didn't, so good for Kyle. They even Loctite those ones on. So. Yeah. Crazy. Would have been okay, but it's better to have them all tight than not, right?
Right. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, not to be loose.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm stumped.
Still doing it.
Still doing it. Okay. I got one other thing I can do. Well, not really. I got a bunch of stuff to look at though.
Okay.
Look at my laptop, pull the logs, see what we're working with. Maybe there's something in the firmware or something in the programming that's just not allowing it to, maybe the O2 sensors are going dumb and just cutting fuel off. Maybe turn the gain off and see what happens. So, frustrating, but good to know that those weren't the two issues, I guess.
Process of elimination, right?
Right, exactly. But both of those were two really good things that we did for the car, so we just got to get this figured out. Seems to be better though, because it's going, but it's not going as good. So, all right.
Okay.
So, in all that I've been doing with this car, I have forgot to delete any of the old logs. It's got an automatic log trigger. Anytime the throttle's over 25%, which is 99% of the time the thing's running, it records a log file. So all my log files are full. So what I have to do is I have to go through them, download them all, delete the memory that's on the Dominator, and we're gonna have to try again, and I'll log it, and then I'll be able to look at it. And that might also be, being full on memory, that might be why we're having some issues.
Not enough RAM. Not enough RAM.
Too much dodge, not enough RAM. Well, I did a firmware upgrade on my Dominator, did a firmware upgrade on the dash. The things seem to be working better. I got the memory all cleared out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it out into the street. I'm gonna start a log file. I'm gonna hit it, and then I'll record that data log, and I'm gonna look over that data and see what we can't come up with. See if there's anything sensor-wise that I can see, and go from there.
It fell off when you launched, and you pushed it with the front of the car all the way to where you turned.
Oh shit. I can't believe we didn't destroy it.
It was just rolling.
That's insane.
I know.
Well, it likes to fucking party now.
Yeah, I could see that.
That was awesome.
No, we're good. But I don't know what happened. Look, it knocked the headlight ring off, and I pushed it down the street and didn't hurt it.
It rolled all the way down the street in front of the car.
Still there.
Still there.
Still fuck. This is America.
Hey, if you don't got a hand like Kyle, who's willing to run along the front of the car to hold the headlight ring in.
Bro, that's awesome. That's awesome.
All right, you happy?
I'm so pumped. This thing is an animal. Holy shit. But I was able to drive it full kill. So that's awesome, right? No, that's,
are we gonna try and like maybe on Saturday or something do some all-wheel drive stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or,
over at the spot?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Little Mexico.
Okay.
All right?
All right. All right, y'all, that's it for this week. To be continued. We did not make it over to do any testing before we put this video out, but we will do that this next week. We are also gonna take the car over, or truck over, I guess, and put it on Kraken's all-wheel drive dyno. So definitely stay tuned. Next week, 8:30 a.m. on our channel. Thanks for watching.